There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere can you have that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow.
There's no people like show people. They smile when they are wrong. Yesterday they told you you would not go far. That night you open and there you are. Next day on your dressing room they come the star. Let's go on with our show.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Broadway Blockbusters. My name is Craig.
And I'm Heather. We're so excited to be here with you. Today we're going to sing for you some of the greatest hits of the Great White Way. These are some of our favorite tunes, and I'm sure you'll recognize a few as well.
So now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Traveling through the country is so thrilling.
Standing out in front of opening nights,
Smiling as you watch the bench spilling, and there's your feeling of caring lives in lives. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Even with the turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold. Still you wouldn't trade it for a sack of gold. Let's go on with the show. Let's go on with the show. Hi! Wow, it is so wonderful to see everybody here. Thank you so much for coming out. Everybody, please give it up for Dr. Jim Moore. Now, obviously, that number we just sang is "There's No Business Like Show Business." Does anybody know what musical that's from? No? You? Anyone? Shout it out. Annie, get your... Was that Jeannie? Yes, that is from Annie, Get Your Gun. We actually have never done that show, but another classic Broadway show we have done is Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is important for a lot of reasons. To the Broadway community, it's important because it's actually the first musical that's credited as being the first modern Broadway musical, in the sense that it advances the story through the songs and the dances. You know, up to that point, shows would basically just tell story, 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 and then they stop, and they sing a song, and they do a dance, and it has nothing to do with anything, and then they continue story, story, story. So Oklahoma is the first one that changed all that. You're at a different place in the story at the end of the song than you were at the beginning. But it's also a really important show to us personally, because we actually met doing a production of Oklahoma. We did it right down here at the old Manatee Riverfront Theater. Everybody remember the old Riverfront Theater?
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
No, it's a hotel now or something.
Whatever. Yeah, so we met doing Oklahoma back in 2007. 13 years ago.
13?
Yeah. Oh.
I don't have that many fingers.
No, you don't. Okay. But we had never actually met until that moment. We were in the same circle, performing at the same theaters, but had never actually met until we got cast playing romantic leads, romantic opposites of each other. Now, he doesn't know it. Well, he didn't at the time. But as soon as I met him, I got a huge crush on my Curly.
Who can blame her?
Yeah, he was Curly and I was Lori. And I didn't tell him, but I have a really big mouth, so I told pretty much everybody else, which was a huge mistake because I told our stage manager, who is in charge of calling the light cues, calling when the curtain comes in and comes out, all of that. And this next song we're about to sing, in the context of the show, big swell moment, big romantic long kiss as the curtain goes down. And I say it was a big mistake to tell our stage manager because she decided that she would wait to call the cue for the curtain to come down as long as possible.
I thought we just had a terrible stage manager.
So, needless to say, we were standing there kissing for a really long time. So that was my own fault. But needless to say, obviously it worked out because here we are, 13 years later. And this next song is also special because we happen to use it as our first dance at our wedding. So it really does hold a special place in our hearts. Why do we think of stories that link my name with yours?
Why do the neighbors chatter all day behind their doors?
I know a way to prove what they say is quite untrue. Here is the gist, a practical list of don'ts for you. Don't throw bouquets at me. Don't please my folks too much. Don't laugh at the jokes too much. People will say we're in
Who
love.
laughs at your jokes?
Don't sigh and gaze at me. Your sighs are so like mine. Your eyes must glow like mine. People will say we're in love. Don't start collecting feelings.
Like what?
Give me my rose and my glove. Sweetheart, this is acting means. People will say
Some people claim that you are to blame as much as I. Why do you take the trouble to bake my favorite pie? Granting your wish, I carved our initials on the tree. Just keep a slice of all the advice you give so free. Don't praise my charm too much. Don't look so vain with me. Don't stand in the rain with me. People will say we're in love. Don't take my arm too much. Don't Fortunately, that all worked out.
Yeah, but I have to confess something. It wasn't all sunshine and roses when I first met him because he actually had a girlfriend at the time.
I did.
And so I had to spend about a year and a half just pining away silently. But like I said, a year and a half later, everything worked out. They broke up, we got together, and I was not responsible.
No, she wasn't. I got dumped.
Let the record show.
Yeah.
Dumped. I did not do it.
But I think it all worked out for the best because here we are all these years later, and I think I'm a pretty lucky guy.
Oh, well, I'm a pretty lucky lady.
You are a pretty lucky lady. And you know, that actually reminds me of another lucky lady. They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very young ladylike way of running out. You're on this date with me. The pickings have been lush, and yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners. You might refuse to stay. And so the best thing I can do is pray. Love, be a lady tonight. Love, be a lady tonight. Love, if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Love, be a lady tonight. Love, let a gentleman see how nice a day you can be. I know the way you treated other guys you've been with. Love, be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair. It isn't nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck, be a lady tonight. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair. It isn't nice. Not nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in Thanks.
So on the line of luck, I feel very lucky because I have a husband who supports my crazy career, which is performing professionally. So it's amazing to have somebody who supports me with all the crazy uncertainties that come along with being a professional singer and a performer. And one of those reasons I'm lucky is because in 2015, I actually had the opportunity to perform on a cruise ship. Is anybody here familiar with Viking cruises? Yeah, they're best known for their for their river cruises. But in 2015, they decided to launch ocean liners to compete with the big vessels. And so I had this amazing opportunity to launch the very first ocean liner for Viking, which was the Viking Star. And I was part of the very first cast, the very inaugural everything. And then the following year, they asked me to come back and launch the second one, which was the Viking Sea. So I got to spend 2 years working on a cruise ship that traveled all throughout Europe, so all through the Mediterranean, all through the Baltics, and I got to see these incredible cities and these incredible countries during the day, and at nighttime, I would get to sing for a living. So it was pretty wonderful. So I wanted to sing for you one of the Blockbuster songs that I got to perform on the ship, which is from the hit classic musical Porgy and Bess.
Feeling like summertime out there. It's getting warm again all of a sudden. What happened to that cold front? Where'd that go?
What?
The cold front.
Yeah, come back, cold front. It looks beautiful out today.
You know, one of the things with Heather traveling all the time is we don't actually get the chance to perform together very often. You know, she's often on the road, she's traveling to other cities, sometimes all over the world. So the opportunities for us to actually share the stage are few and far between. So this is actually our first time performing together in...
7 years. I know! Yeah, we last performed together in 2013. We did Spam-A-Lot at Florida Studio Theater, which was a blast.
It was.
But that's the last time that we've done a show. So we had to create a show so that we could perform together.
But it's working out.
So far, so good.
Yeah. We've actually had the chance to do lots of great shows separately because of that. One of my personal favorite shows that I've done actually twice is the Alan Menken, Howard Ashman musical, Little Shop of Horrors. It's the only show that I've done twice. I've repeated the role twice. I played Seymour Krelborn. He's like this little nerdy shopkeep guy who finds an alien plant from outer space that is hell-bent on taking over the world.
You know, your classic Broadway plot.
I love it. It's such a zany show, and I would love to actually do it a third time if I could. But ideally, I would like to do it with Heather playing Audrey opposite me, because I think she would be an amazing Audrey.
Thanks.
So, since we made our own show,
Yeah, we can do what we want.
we can do whatever we want. So, we are going to sing a song from Little Shop of Horrors. But first, let me just get into character here. There we go. Anything you want to do? Lift up your head, wash off that mascara. Here, take my Kleenex, wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face, clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly, Seymour is standing beside you. You don't need no makeup, don't have to pretend. Suddenly, Seymour is here to provide you sweet understanding. Seymour's your friend.
Nobody ever treated me kindly. Daddy left early. Mama was poor. I'd meet a man and I'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers. Me, I'd say, sure. Suddenly, Seymour, you're standing beside me. He don't give me
Dream fulfilled.
We did it! If there's any casting directors out there looking to do this show, Corey.
We're available. You know, just because I don't always get to perform with Heather doesn't mean I haven't met a lot of fascinating people. You know, the great thing about doing theater is you never know who you're going to meet. You could meet your wife.
Or your worst enemy.
Yep, that's
And
also.
everything in between. It brings out all kinds, that's for sure.
But definitely you will meet some fascinating people. That is an absolute. I remember this one time I was cast in a production of the Jerry Herman musical, Hello, Dolly. And I was so excited to get the part. I was playing Cornelius Hackle. He has some great songs, so I couldn't wait to do this show. I got there to the first night of rehearsal, and I met the director for the first time, who, as it turns out, was a veteran Broadway actor who had played Cornelius Hackle. So right out of the gate, I'm hit with all this pressure. You know, how am I ever going to live up to this guy's expectation of what this part is supposed to be? But we start rehearsal, and they gave us all a copy of the soundtrack on CD to take home and listen to and just familiarize ourselves with the music. It was the 30th anniversary recording, starring none other than the great Carol Channing as Johnny Levi. And of course, Carol has a very unique sound. But I listened to the soundtrack, I went back into rehearsal the next day, and I'll never forget, the kid that played Barnaby came running up to me and says, "Hey, did you listen to that soundtrack they gave us?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Who was that woman playing Dolly?" And I said, "That's Carol Channing." And he said, "Who?" I said, "Carol Channing, the great Broadway legend. She created the role of Dolly Levi. She's a huge, huge Broadway star." And he goes, "Oh, they should have gotten somebody else." And it was in that moment that I realized it doesn't matter who has played a part before you. It's always going to be new for somebody, and there's always going to be an opportunity for you to take a role and make it your own. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there. Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers, way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby, out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening, yeah. Girls in white in a perfect night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's and we'll go to town your world, and we won't come home until we've kissed a girl. Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Step down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirit seems to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. But make it over in the world a simple song. A lovely lips that makes you tilt your nose. Get out your slickers, your flannel knickers, your red suspenders and hose. Get your straw hat and your silk cravat. There'll be no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
So a lot of people ask me, what show, was there a show that got you into performing? What was the defining moment for you that made you realize this is what you want to do with your life? And there is a show. It's kind of a strange show as it is, but it happens to be Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats. And I didn't even want to perform till I was 13, but my sister was in the theater club at high school, and she brought home a VHS of the London recording of Cats that they had filmed on the stage, and then you could buy it and watch it. And I watched it, and I don't know why, but I was captivated. It was just, there was something about it that I just had to watch it and rewind it and watch it again and study it. And I had to know every single nuance and moment. You know, I got the cast recording and I memorized it. I would practice the dancing in my bedroom. I don't think my parents knew that, but I practiced dancing in my bedroom. But there was just something about it. And that was even before I knew I wanted to perform. I was just so fixed by this spectacle, this show. Fast forward about 8 years later, I've started performing and whatnot. And good old Manatee Players again, in 2008, did a production of Cats. And I said, oh boy, this is my opportunity. So I didn't think I was going to be a strong enough dancer to be one of the ensemble dancing members. I thought, okay, well, maybe I could try to go for Grisabella, who doesn't dance at all and sings one big song and dies, you know. So, but I had a director choreographer that trusted me with the choreography, and so I actually got to play one of the cats that did all the dancing. And I didn't do too bad, if I say so myself. I know I'm not a skilled technical dancer, but I did good enough. So, but in that show, there is, I'm sure you are aware, a huge blockbuster number that I would like to sing for you now that I'm sure you'll recognize. Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She is smiling alone. In the lamplight, the withered leaves collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Memory all alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. I was beautiful then. I remember a time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Every street lamp seems to beat a fatalistic warning. Someone mutters and the street lamp gutters, and soon it will be morning. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too, and a new day will begin. Burnt out ends of smoky days, the stale cold smell of morning.
logical.
That was perfect.
Got me feline really good.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
We'll put a pause on
Stop!
I learned it from him. He does this all the
Yeah.
time.
He's a terrible influence.
You know, it's funny that Cats is the musical that got Heather interested in musical theater because it was actually another Andrew Lloyd Webber show that got me interested in musical theater. And it's probably his most famous show that everybody thinks of when you say Andrew Lloyd Webber, The Phantom of the Opera. So I remember when I was about 8 years old, my parents decided to take me to see The Phantom of the Opera. It was the Broadway tour of Phantom of the Opera. I had never seen a show like that before. Up to that point, my only experience with theater was going to watch my older sister perform in the Nutcracker twice a year, every year, and it was not my favorite thing to do. I love my sister. She's watching streaming, so she heard that. But anyway, we went to see this show, and I was on the edge of my seat for the entire performance. I just remember getting chills listening to this music, and I was immediately obsessed with this show. I had to get the Broadway cast recording of it. I had to get the big souvenir program with all of the pictures so that I could look at the pictures. I had to get the Canadian cast recording for some reason, but I listened to it relentlessly. I even went as far as to go to school for Halloween one year dressed as the Phantom of the Opera with the bloody makeup and the mask, and I was a very cool kid in high school.
So cool.
Very cool. But all that to say, take your kids to the theater. Take your grandkids to the theater. Because you never know, it only takes one show and it can completely change their life. For better or worse.
Yeah. I love what I do, but starving artist is real, so, yeah.
But anyway, we wanted to sing a song from Phantom of the Opera, and we were trying to think which one we wanted to do. There's this beautiful duet that Christine sings with Raoul, All I Ask of You. We were thinking about that. But then it occurred to us, we have this incredible pipe organ right back here. How cool would it be to hear the title song from Phantom of the Opera with an actual pipe organ?
All right, Jim, that's your cue.
Yeah.
While Jim gets situated over there, we wanted to let you know that after this song, we are going to take a little pause, and that is when the collection plates will be going around for the Free Will, Goodwill donation. The donations you give today go right back into the Fine Arts series. So it funds things like musicians for if you come out and watch our Messiah performance at Easter time or Messiah performance at Christmas time. It goes all towards that to hiring musicians and enriching and creating these wonderful programs that the Fine Arts series allows. So we just wanted to thank you in advance. So after this tune, we will take a little break and we'll pass it on, and then we'll be back shortly after.
So it looks like Jim is all set to go back there. So a word of warning. We have asked him to turn it up to 11. So you may want to adjust your hearing aids. It's going to be loud. So brace yourselves and enjoy the title song from Broadway's longest running show, The Phantom of the Opera.
In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came, that voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the Phantom of the Opera is there.
recovered after that high note.
Wait, what do you mean recover?
Well, it's just a really high note, so you just need a little break to let your voice recover. It's fine.
No, I didn't need to recover it. It was for the collection. I didn't need a break.
It's okay if you needed a break. I mean, I personally wouldn't have needed a break.
Okay, so you're saying you could do that better.
I would never say that. It might be true, but I would never say it.
Okay, all right, listen. Anything you can do. I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
can. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can shoot a partridge with a single cartridge.
I can shoot a sparrow with a bow and arrow.
I can live on bread and cheese.
And only on that,
Yep.
so can a rat.
And you know you can sing, I can sing higher.
I can see a note higher than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
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 How do you sing that high?
I'm a girl.
Oh, so you cheat. Anything you can say, I can say softer.
I can say anything softer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
I can drink my liquor faster than a flicker.
I can drink it quicker and get even sicker
I can open any safe.
without being caught.
Yep.
That's what I thought, you crook.
And you know you can hold, I can hold longer.
I can hold it no longer than you.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. Yes, you can. Where do you keep all that in? Anything you can say, I can say faster.
I can say anything faster than you.
You can.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I can jump a hurdle.
I can wear a girdle.
I can knit a sweater.
I can fill it better.
I can do most anything.
Can you make a pie?
No.
Neither can I.
Anything you can sing, I can sing sweeter.
I can sing anything sweeter than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. No, you can't, can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you
I know how to settle this.
Uh-huh.
both of
Yeah,
us.
who?
Barbra Streisand.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah. She can do anything. She is one of the only recording artists, one of the most successful recording artists in history, and is the only recording artist to have a #1 hit, or #1 album, sorry, in each of the last 6 decades. The only one. Not to mention all her countless awards, and she's just incredible. Her biggest, most notable role is her Academy Award-winning performance in Funny Girl, which puts her stamp on this Broadway blockbuster. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sounds of all the butter. Don't bring around the cloud train on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me, not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'll march my band out, I'll beat my drum, and if I'm fanned out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it out, sir. I guess I didn't make it, but whether on the rose of sheer perfection, the freckle on the nose of life's complexion, the cinder or the shiny apple of his eye, I gotta try once, only can die once, right, sir? Ooh, love is juicy, juicy, and you'll see I've gotta have my bite, sir. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart's a drummer. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'm gonna live and live now. That's what I want. I know how. One roll for the whole shebang. One throw at bell will go play. I have the time and will. One shot, one gunshot, and bam! Hey, Mr. Armstein, here I am. I'll march my band out, I'll beat my drum, and if I'm fanned out, don't try to bet, sir. At least I didn't fake it out, sir. I guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart's a drummer. Nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my
You know, Heather was saying before about how she's had the chance to travel all over the world with the cruise ships and everything, and certainly between the two of us, she is more the world traveler than I am. I would never sing a duet challenging her about that. She would win hands down. I have, however, had the chance to perform internationally, and it was an incredible experience. I was doing a show called From Broadway to Hollywood, and it was a cabaret-style show that featured songs that were made famous in Broadway musicals, and then later made famous again when they made a Hollywood film out of it. So we had this show, we premiered it down here in Sarasota, but then we actually took it to China. And it was my first time out of the country, unless you count Canada, but nobody counts Canada.
Wow, it's not
Except for
like
me,
a
my Canadian past recording of Finn and the Opera.
That was not a jab at Canada. It was just, it's just saying that he doesn't do anything, go anywhere. That's all. Sorry.
That was not the reaction I was expecting. It was my first time performing overseas, let's say that. So we went over there, we started in Beijing. which is actually very westernized, very Americanized. You walk around Beijing, and it's not too different than walking around New York City or Chicago. You know, they have fast food restaurants everywhere. I ate lunch at Kentucky Fried Chicken because that's who I am. That's what I do. But once we got away from Beijing and we started going to the smaller towns away from the city, that's where you really started to see the culture come through. And it was just incredible because you know, we had our free time that we could walk around and we could meet the people, we could talk with them as best as we could talk with them because I don't speak much Mandarin. I can say "谢谢," which is thank you. I can say "ni hao," which is hello. I can say "wa hai ni, Danielle," which is I love you, Big Bird. I may have watched Big Bird Goes to China as my way of studying up on the Chinese culture before I
This is
went.
my husband, ladies and gentlemen.
You can learn a lot from the Muppets.
Fair.
So meeting these people, that's where you really begin to realize that we're not all that different. You know, you walk around the streets where these people work and live, and you realize that they get up in the morning, they go to work, they work hard all day, they go home to their families, and we really have a lot more in common than we have different. I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, that towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. That overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me.
foreign languages and foreign places. The show that this next song I'm going to sing for you has been produced internationally 42 times and has been translated into 21 different languages. And that is, of course, Les Miserables. And yeah, it's one of the most well-known, world-renowned musicals. And I had the opportunity when I was 17 to play Fantine in a student production. And it's such an amazing role. And I would love the opportunity to play it again in a full-scale production. And so in the meantime, I get to sing it for you now. I dreamed a dream in times gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid, no song unsung, no wine untasted. But the tigers come at night, with their voices soft as thunder, as they tear your hopes apart, as they turn your dreams to shame. He slept a summer by my side. He filled my days with endless wonder. He took my childhood in his stride, but he was gone when autumn came. And still I dream he'll come to me, that we will live the years together. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I have a dream of life and me, so different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what I see. Now life has killed the dream I Wow, you guys are amazing. This has been an incredible experience. I don't want it to end. Luckily, we have 12 more songs to go.
12?
Yeah, 12.
Do we really have 12 more?
Yeah.
Is it 12? Sounds good. We don't have time to do 12 more. We've already been here over an hour.
What we rehearsed used all of them.
I know, but we're just gonna have to pick one or two.
Wait.
What are you doing?
Okay, we're ready.
Ready for what?
We're gonna do all 12 songs.
We can't do all 12 songs. We don't have enough time.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna do all 12.
If we do all 12, we're gonna be here until tomorrow.
Just follow along.
Okay. Some loving had me up last.
Summer love happens so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
I met a boy, cute as can be. Summer days drifting away to the summer nights.
Oh, well,
I am 16, going on 17. I know that I can't leave. Fellows I meet, they tell me I'm sweet, and willingly I believe.
you need someone older and wiser, telling you what to do. I am 17, going on 38. I'll take care of you.
You are sunlight and I'm moon, joined here, brightening the sky with a flame of love. Got a light,
I know you're shivering.
it's nothing, they turned off my heat, and I'm just a little weak on my feet. Would you light my candle? Do you want to dance?
Shall we dance? On a bright cloud of music shall we fly? Shall we dance? On the clean mountain standing up the sky of thinking of it. Shall we dance? Shall we dance? Shall we?
Merry the band today, rather than sighing sorrow. Merry the band today, change his ways,
Wait, do I do?
and change his ways,
Yeah, don't do that.
and change his ways. Tonight, it all began tonight. I saw you and the world went away beyond that road, beyond this lifetime. That car full of hope will always lead, and he will ride. Our son will ride on the wheels of a dream. Don't you fret, Monsieur Marius, I don't feel any pain. A little fall of rain can hardly hurt me now.
I'm here.
That's all I need to know. And you will keep me safe.
Till you are
You will keep me close. And rain will make the flowers go.
Go.
Wherever we go,
Whatever we do,
we're gonna go through it together.
with you for me,
And me for you,
we'll not was only 11.
Oh, shoot.
We missed one.
We did. One more?
This last one, it's another really special one for us because it's from a show called I Do, I Do. And it's a show that Heather and I got to perform together 9 years ago, about a month before we got married. And it's this beautiful show. It's just a two-person show, so it's just the two of us. But it follows them from their wedding day and then over the course of 50 years of marriage. So it's this incredible show, and it means a lot to us.
Now, the song that we're going to sing isn't necessarily, is more of a blockbuster than the show itself. It's not a very well-known show. But the song we're going to sing actually went into the pop charts and was sung by Ed Ames and Perry Como, among others. So in that case, for us, it's a very big and special song to us, and that's how it's a blockbuster. So before we go, we just want to give another amazing thanks to Dr. Jen Thank you so much. Thank you for scooching in and getting cozy with your neighbor. This turnout is more than we could have ever imagined. So thank you again. So.
Sometimes in the morning, when shadows are deep, I lie there beside you, just watching you sleep. And sometimes I whisper what I'm thinking of. My cup runneth over with love.
Sometimes in